the dance floor.
Come on!
Hey everybody, it's Shock here, and I have a monotype battle here versus WandererOfTheWind, formerly known as Sykes84. He asked me to do his 100 sub special for him, and he wanted to do Monocolor, and yes, Volcorona, Amoongus, Jellicent, and Virizion are all monotype white, believe it or not. So, I'm going to lead with my shrooms, because I thought that was the best thing I could lead with, and it's my own custom set. It's actually a modest, almost max special attack with hidden power ground. So I switched because I have nothing to hit that thing with, and he goes for the stealth rocks. So I'm like, oh well, my volcorona is only useless. My volcorona is only good for fire now. He goes for the earthquake, and I went for the hidden power ground because I honestly thought he was going to switch, and I knew I could take probably one more earthquake bar crit, and I lived with 11 HP, and we were on Skype. And I was like, well, I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to die to the life orb because a stab times 5.5, you know, that's ice beam. Life orb, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go through all the calculations. Pick my phone, go off my lap, and to the floor. Anyway, so my ice cream faints, and so does his Batwing. He goes on his monkey, and I go into my FYL because when I first came across Jellicent on PO, it really bothered me a lot. And this is actually my own custom set. It's 156 HP, 100 defense, 252 special attack, Scald, Recover, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Electric. So he goes down to Surge. And I was just going to go for the Hidden Power Electric just because I thought Starmie was going to come out of nowhere. And that does, look at that, that does about 2/3. You know, this is a modest nature, max special attack. So I'm like, alright, you probably can't do much to me, and he goes for Giga Drain. I'm just like, what? Wasn't expecting that. But I go straight for the Ice Beam, because I knew the Ice Beam would probably more likely KO. I didn't want him living a Hidden Power Electric. So his Surge, I take out his Surge with that Ice Beam. So I'm like, loot sauce. It's going pretty damn well. Like, alright, what's it gonna go out into now? What's it gonna go out to? He finally goes down to that Starmie, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna switch into Volcorona because that thing's only fodder material. Right? Right? No, not exactly. This is a modest nature max special attack, max speed, 4 HP. With Hidden Power ground. And he tricks me a Choice Scarf. And I'm like, oh, and he's like face palming, and I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna lock myself into Bug Buzz. And he goes into Nido King, I'm like, great. And it does a decent bit, and I get the special defense drop. After seeing that special defense drop, I was like, I might be able to take him out. I go for that Bug Buzz, and I nearly take him out. Look at him, he barely lives. And he takes me out with a stab bonus earthquake, so it's like, darn. Almost, because if I had taken him out, I might have had a Volcorona sweep. So I got into Infidel. And, obviously after sell the rock damage, I could tell he was either Choice Scarf or Choice Banded, so I could force the switch. And he goes out into his monkey, and I go straight for the Air Slash, and I should have predicted that. If I went for the Aura Sphere, it would have taken him out. So I'm going to switch out, predicting what I thought was going to be the fake out. I'm going to go back out into my Jellicent, my FYL. As he goes for the headbutt, I'm like, okay, that's not very effective. And he U-turns. Sorry about that, guys. My mom. Something surprised her. So he U-turns out, and I believe I went straight for the Recover as he goes out into his, that name just escaped me, the name just escaped me for a brief second there. So I recover most of my HP back, and I'm like, alright, I'll just Scald him, hopefully get the burn, and I'll cripple him as technically physical attack, but he goes for the special attack. He just Calm Minor as like special attack. I was like, whoa. I was like, I do not know what this thing's special attack moveset is, wise, really, for the most part. So seeing as has so much the Skull did after one Calm Mind, I was like, oh, I can do this. And then he goes for Grass, and I was like, holy freaking shit, that is insane. So I go for another Scald, and it almost takes him out. In fact, it does just about roughly the same amount of damage. Pardon that cursing. So I'm going to switch out, predicting what was going to be another Grass Knot. I go into my Shrooms, but he goes for Hidden Power. I was like, oh my god, he's got Hidden Power Ice. And he actually tells me on Skype, Hidden Power Psychic. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Hidden Power Psychic, that's cool. I would have figured Ice, but Hidden Power Psychic, that's cool. I barely lived that, so I'm like, alright, I'll just leave my streams for fodder material. So I'm a bit sad-faced about that. It's like, darn, because I really wanted to use that Shrooms. So I go on to my Virizion now. I was like, alright, this is my physical sweeper, guys. So I just go straight for the Leaf Blade. I was like, wait a minute. For a brief moment there, I thought Mienshao outspeeded Virizion, but turns out Mienshao, jolly or timid, does not outspeed a jolly or timid Virizion. Alright, so that's basically that. Enough of that, blah blah blah. So he goes on to his monkey, and I go right back out into FYL, predicting the obvious fake out, which I do. I was like, holy crap, I barely lived that. And, the ability on this Jelson is actually Cursed Body, because it's an in-game ability. And he goes for the U-turn, I barely live, and Cursed Body actually kicks in. It was like, we both laughed. It was like the one time Cursed Body actually kicks in. So he goes out into Crystal, which I did predict that correctly with the Himpower Electric, so that was one epic prediction. But obviously, my FYL is pretty much just fodder. I think I leave my FYL in as fodder material after getting the leftovers HP, and that's exactly what I do. I leave it in fodder material because I really didn't have a safe switch in for that Thunderbolt. Because I thought about switching in Virizion because of its really good special defense, but I didn't want random para hacks happening and then screwing me over. So now I go out into my Virizion, knowing I can take one Ice Beam at least. I can probably take 2 or 3. And, he goes for that Ice Beam, and it does a decent bit. I was like, alright, I'm a 3 HKO. I'll just go straight for the Stab Leaf Blade, super effective, and that'll just wreck his Crystal. And it does. I shatter that Crystal. So it's like, alright, I'm going, go Virizion. And, he goes back out on his monkey, and, he goes for the fake out, and that does, it almost takes me out. I'm like, holy crap, he's gonna take me out, I'm gonna lose, good game. And then I outspeed him, and I was like, adamant. He's like, yep. So I just Sacred Sword the crap out of him, and goodbye, monkey. Slice that monkey right in half. So I was like, alright. It's down to his last Pokemon. He goes back out. He goes out into his night, and he goes for, I think it was Choice Band or Choice Scarf. Sucker Punch. I live with 12 HP. Justified kicks in. He's just like, that wasn't necessary. And I was like, I know. And I go for the Stab Leaf Blade, and that takes him out. So, good game. Wanderer of the Wind, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. If I didn't say the song, it's Wherever I May Roam by Metallica. So like, comment, subscribe, and peace, guys.